Hello, how are you guys today? So our sentence this week is from the book The Invisible Boy, which is one that's new to me, but I'm very excited about reading. And let's go ahead and read it. It says, he tells the others, let's play ball. All right, as far as type of sentence, we are always supposed to look at the punctuation at the end of the sentence. That is an exclamation point. So that actually means it's either going to be exclamatory, where it's just a strong emotion, or it could be a command that's kind of yelled. So let's read it again. Let's play ball. That's the quote. Is that commanding someone to do something? Yes, it actually is. It's saying, do it, play ball. Let's kind of makes it a little more polite, but it's still a command. So we are going to call this imperative because if it's important, we might command somebody to do it. So it's I-M-P-E-R-A-T-I-V. N-E. Imperative. All right. So let's read through to try to find our nouns. So our nouns are our people, places, or things. He tells the others. Okay, others, it's kind of like people. It's not specific about who they are, but it is people. So it also ends with an S. So not only is it a noun, but it is a plural noun. All right, let's play ball. Okay, ball is an object, but it's also a game, and a game is a thing. A ball is a thing, so that is also a noun. All right, let's look for our verbs. So those are our action words. So he tells, ooh, here's one. Telling somebody something is a action. And it ends with an S, so that means it's happening right now. So this is going to be considered a verb, but specifically one that's happening in the present. So we're going to call it a present tense verb. I hear an after-school group that's outside in the hallway. They are very noisy. It might be some of you guys. All right, he tells the others, let's play ball. Okay, playing, that's another action. So we'll just call it a verb. We won't worry so much about past tense, present tense. Future tense, that's the one I was forgetting. I was like, wait, I forgot one. Which one did I forget? Future. So we'll just leave it at this. All right, now let's look for describing words. He, the, let's. None of those are describing words. And actually, that's okay. Some sentences don't have anything to describe. I mean, I'm the details monster. You guys know I love my details, but this one doesn't have any adjectives. So we do need to investigate some of these other words. He is replacing the name of a character. So since it's replacing the name of a person, we're going to call that a pronoun. All right, the word the. That's on our list of the ones we just have to memorize, a, an, and the, which is an article. Then the last word we have left is the word let's. Let's is a contraction, which is not exactly, it's part of speech, because a contraction splits a word up using an apostrophe is what this is called. An apostrophe, it's not called a comma. So it's going to split it up, so that word let has its own part of speech, technically speaking, and then us is the other part of the sentence. It's let us play ball. And it uses the contraction to smush the words together. There are also apostrophes in other situations, which we'll talk more about later in the year. And usually it shows that we own it, something belongs to them, but they don't belong. Play doesn't belong to let. The S doesn't belong to let. It's let us. It's smushing the two words together. So that's a contraction. And it's for the word let and us. But you know what? I'll just leave it at contraction because for me, that's the most important thing for you guys to remember for the moment. All right, one other thing I do want you to notice, and I'm not forgetting subject, predicate, and sentence structure yet. I want you guys to notice that this is dialogue. So it has quotation punctuation. So this is the tag. Remember, the tag is what is telling you who is speaking. So here's our tag. And then there's the comma. And if you remember from last week when I was telling you, the comma says, there's somebody about to speak. So the comma is so important to split up the quote from the tag. Even if the quote came first, there's going to be a comma somehow to link to the rest of it to show there was somebody who spoke. The comma is so important when it comes to dialogue. And then we have our quotation mark at the beginning of what's said out loud. So what's being said out loud is, let's play ball. That's our actual quote. There is a quotation mark at the end, but before that quotation mark, there is some punctuation. And in this case, it's exciting. It's a command. It's a command that's being yelled. So it's an exclamation point. So they could have just had a period there, but it definitely wouldn't be a question mark. One other thing to notice is that when we are punctuating dialogue, we also have to capitalize that first letter of the quote. So that is still capitalized. I still want you guys to remember these rules because it's a really hard skill to learn over time. Some of you get it pretty easily, but a lot of us are still learning. So every time we get these opportunities to recognize how to punctuate dialogue, we're going to work on it. So this is technically a simple sentence. It's just dialogue, so it changes things a little bit. There is 2 subjects and 2 predicates, but that's not because it's compound. It's because this is the tag, which has a subject and the action, and then that's the quote, which also has a subject and a predicate. And when we're taking our grammar test soon, we're just using the phrase subject and verb. But the predicate is a verb, and the subject is usually a noun, sometimes a pronoun. So we're still going to call this simple. If we look here, so I always like to look for my verbs because that's going to help me with the action, and then I figure out what's doing it. So tells. Who tells? He tells. So right here we have tells and he, and that's in the tag. But in the quote, the verb is play. So who plays? Let's. Okay, that doesn't make sense, right? But remember the contraction, let us, us. Us is the subject. Us play. All right, there you have it, guys. Have a great afternoon or morning or night.